My name is Cheyenne and I have a story to tell.
Well, it looks like I have plenty of candles for now. Probably not for that much longer. I didn't really stock up on candles. Most of my flashlights aren't working, and my cell phone is completely fried. I'm really not sure what happened here.
Mr. Lawborn, I can give you my opinion on what might have happened, but only my opinion. I have no access to the facts. From what you have described to me, I suspect that the reason all of the electricity is off and my power systems have been badly damaged is because of an electromagnetic pulse, also known as EMP. An EMP powerful enough to shut down the power grid over a wide area can be produced by two sources: a nuclear detonation or a solar flare. I suspect the latter, since I would have detected a nuclear accident or attack. The solar flare would have been undetectable for me, since space weather is not an area that I am focused on. History supports my opinion. In 1859 a solar flare so powerful struck the Earth that telegraph wires were charged and even the paper in the telegraph offices was set ablaze. It was called the Carrington event, named after the scientist who observed it, Dr. Carrington. He even viewed the sunspot that produced the flare through his telescope. The entire northern hemisphere was affected. The aurora borealis produced by the flare was seen as far south as Cuba. A similar event occurred in 2012. A massive solar flare fired from the sun that was powerful enough to have had devastating consequences. The only reason it did not is because it was not facing the planet. Had it been that, it would have been the end of technological civilization.
Well, if it is as bad as you say, then I have a lot of work ahead of me.
The power won't be coming back on, Mr. Lawborn. If the damage is widespread enough, it may take years or even decades to rebuild the grid. I cannot even calculate the cost of the repair. This may be a history-changing event. This may be a real dark age.
No way I'm eating a rat.
It would be a viable source of protein.
Not going to happen.
You will have to overcome your squeamishness.
But using traps to catch rodents for dinner? Seriously?
It is all part of learning the skills you will need. Shall we begin again? What is the survival rule of 3?
I can live for 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food.
Which is more efficient, hunting or snaring?
Snaring. Hunting can only be used for a limited amount of time during the day, while snaring is effective around the clock.
Which is better for treating water? Boiling it or filtering it?
Both. Suspect water should be boiled and filtered.
Do you have 3 ways to start a fire?
Yes. I have Bic lighters, I have Fresnel lenses to be used as a magnifying glass, and I have my fire steel, which I intend to wear around my neck at all times.
What are 3 uses for a bandana?
It makes a good head covering.
Insufficient response. We shall take a short break and begin again.
I am getting such a headache.
Fascinating. She appears to still be following the dictates of her programming. She is investing effort in training the human to survive. Continue the observation for now. You know what to do next.
We will continue, Mr. Lawborn. Can you assemble a survival kit?
Yes, I can. I've got a book for that.
If you had to leave in a hurry, would you be able to?
Prepared to bug out? I have the literature for that also.
Did you have food and supplies stored away before the event?
Adequate supply of food and water, and I have the means to get more. I still really don't like the idea of using rat traps, but I guess I gotta do what I gotta do.
How about lighting and illumination?
Well, I have lots of candles for now, and I still have a few working flashlights left.
Did you store away first aid kits and medical supplies?
Well, I've taken various items and packed them away into small bags just like this one, so I'll have lots of small portable first aid kits. And yes, before you ask, I do have tools and gear of all kinds stored in the house. Like this can opener here. I probably have a half a dozen of those. I have multi-tools of all shapes and sizes. I have pepper spray for self-defense. I even have a manual wind-up clock, so I could still tell time afterwards. Didn't think I'd ever find this thing useful. I even bought stuff I don't even know how to use. What we're doing here is really just a basic inventory, so what's really going on?
Gotten any mail over the past few days? You will not be able to order anything off of the internet anymore. I wanted to do an inventory to get a good idea of what we had to work with, Mr. Lawborn.
I see that the Cheyenne module is continuing this Lawborn characters training. Let's have a look around. A garden all ready to be tilled and planted. How nice. What a pleasant little greenhouse. A compost pile neatly arranged. Mr. Lawborn must fancy himself a gardener. He will till and he will plant. But we will do the harvesting. The most effective form of slavery is when the slave does not even know that his shackles exist.